Hello and welcome back to Officina Virtuale. Let's continue our beginner series, as always, mechanical design and part design. In part 1, let's click on OK, and today we're going to talk about translation, rotation, symmetry, and axis to axis. To use this command, as you can see here, we need something, so let's sketch something on our y-x plane, for example, and we can sketch using a rectangle like this, and we can use a circle. And we can delete this and this, yes, and we can extrude in our y-x in the z direction, let's say 100, and let's click on preview and OK. Now let's introduce a line. As you can see here, we've got this command line. Clicking on line, we've got different options. We can select point to point, point direction, and so on. Let's select point to point. We can specify our first point. We can create our point, as you can see here. Right click and then left click to select this point. Let's say the origin and OK. Now we need to select our second point, right click and create point, and let's say 100 and the y positive direction, negative direction, let's say minus 100. Preview and OK, and this is our line, and let's click on OK. Now let's click on our first feature, translation. Let's click on translation. As you can see, you really want to keep the translation. OK, yes. And as you can see here, we can select the direction. As direction, with right click, we can select the X, Y, Z, or we can create a line. And we can use the compass, but we've got, for example, this line. So let's select this line. And let's select the distance. As you can see here, we've got two different arrows, and we can move this arrow. We've got positive direction and a negative direction. And this is our reference. Cancel. Let's do that one more time. We can select, as a direction, we can select this edge, for example. And as always, we've got these two different options, positive and negative. Okay, as a distance, you can see here that we've got positive and negative. Okay, and if I click OK, this is what we've got. This is, with this feature, we can move our element. The second option that we've got is rotation. As always, we can select an axis with right click. We can select this line, for example, but we can select this edge, and we can specify this angle. So we've got these two arrows, and we can do that, as you can see. Okay, let's click on OK. I'll do that one more time. So let's click on rotation, and we can select our axis this, and we can change this angle, for example, let's say 40 degrees, and let's click on OK. And this is rotation. Then let's click on symmetry. Yes. Now we need to select a reference, and for example, I can select the surface here, or I can select this line. I can select plane, for example, let's say this. Okay. Or I can select this, or I can select this. So we've got these different options. And we can select either edges, as you can see, surface edges, and so on. Now let's click on OK. Then we've got our latest options, as you can see here, axis to axis. We can select, we need two different reference, a reference and a target. So let's click on cancel, and we can introduce two different systems. This could be our first system. I can hide, OK, let's click on OK. I can hide our Y, X, and Z plane oops, and height. And I can add a new system, selecting this as our reference, as our origin, and I can change. Now let's see, it's okay, let's click on OK. And now, using this command, axis to axis, I can use this as a reference and this as our target. And this is the distance between these two different pads, as you can see. And we can move this object following this orientation. I should say, for example, let's clicking on this, I should change this direction. For example, I should say reverse. And now, as you can see, we've got the positive x-axis going in this direction, along these directions, and the negative x-axis going this direction. So if I click OK, this is our result, because we've got this different direction orientation. This is not direction, they've got the same direction this time, but we can change even this orientation. Okay, this is the idea. As always, if you like this content, please consider to subscribe, share. See you soon.